All right, so I'm here with Joe.
What's
Uh,
going on, man?
all right, man, chilling. I got my brother in the background playing a video game or something.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I'm
playing the game
still,
right
I'm
now.
still, I'm still gaming.
What are
Yeah,
you
You
playing
know,
over there?
gaming.
he got that. What's it called?
The Outriders.
Outriders.
Bring the mic closer to you, Joe, so I can hear you better. I stopped playing games, but I was just curious.
We good right here?
I thought he was playing Madden or something. Yeah, that's good.
Nah, I don't. I
He
can't play
probably
that no
usually
more.
would though, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just only fitting. I mean, you got Eagles all over the fucking place, so
Right.
yeah,
To that point though, Madden like 50. So
yeah,
like they're all the same.
yeah. I used to play that shit. Damn, when I was like 11 years old, that's when I first started playing, and I was a fan of like the Broncos and shit. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It was just the
Oh
team that I
man.
picked. Yeah, I was like huge John Elway fan.
Really?
Yeah, that's what got me into football because of John Elway. And when I saw him, when I played the video game, and then I saw him in real life in the TV, I was like, yo, I was like tripping
Yeah.
because
Broncos all the way.
you're a kid, you don't understand shit. Like I thought the video game was a video game. I didn't know like these players were real.
Right, I got you.
That's my little story of how I got into football.
Yeah.
Uh, my step pops, he got me into the Eagles because he used to get mad at me because I used to
Oh yeah, it's Die Hard.
yeah, he was like, why you ain't an Eagles fan, you from Philly? I was like, I don't know, I like the Denver Broncos, my first team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually I started to bleed green. I got
Oh
hardcore with
yeah.
it.
Always. Even when we suck.
Yeah. It's funny that right now I do this thing. I don't know if you see what I do on social media, but I mess around with this fucking pigeon shit. uh
Yeah.
uh
The dead
Oh, the
pigeons.
dead pigeons.
Yeah,
Yep.
dead pitches, and it's funny because that's what we were considered. Like the Eagles, whenever we sucked, they used to call us the pigeons and shit.
Oh.
Yeah, so I used to get mad as shit whenever someone like, "You don't fucking call us a pigeon. We the fucking Eagles, bitch."
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get mad. I used to get really mad. Like I was really passionate with the Eagles.
Nah, I feel that,
Um,
dude.
I had to get out of that shit though. That shit,
Yeah,
it really
me
fucked me
too,
up
bro.
mentally every time we lost.
Yeah, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
feel you.
Especially that fucking Super Bowl with McNabb. Oh my god,
Oh
I
man.
cried. I was angry.
Yeah,
I threw shit.
yeah. People. I mean, to be honest though, I mean, I see how attached we can get to certain things.
Yeah.
How emotionally attached. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, I saw a couple videos where I guess what was it? What was that game where where that kid ended up shoving that remote up his ass because he was
Whoa.
mad that
Oh,
they
the
shut it
World
off.
of Warcraft. I don't know if
Oh,
you ever seen that video.
I
His mom like
I don't know
deleted
why you
his
guys watching that shit. I'm joking.
Nah.
I'm
No, but
joking.
it was what he did because they took away
Yeah,
a
his mom
controller.
like
She hid the controller or something.
no, she deleted his
Oh, she did.
account or
Oh,
something.
Yeah,
so much
And
time.
there's a
he
lot of
was
those.
Bro.
There's a lot of
yeah,
marriages that failed because of that. Because the dude is always addicted to video game, and the wife will take the step and delete some shit, and
oh
he'll
yeah, it
end that
gets
marriage
serious.
quick. He
Yeah, it gets serious.
just took his life away.
That's
Uh,
insane, bro.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of
It used to be like that though, for real. Like I mean, it was a problem. I acknowledge that, and now I just got it to pass. Like if I want to relax, to kind of nurse like a lower injury.
balance, man.
right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So,
Yeah,
and to be honest, I mean, this thing actually sits here. But if I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go in all the way. I got I got a nice little setup here, but
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I do the same shit. Like I stay away from my games, because I get a little crazy. Like I want to stay on it all day.
Yeah.
And I got too much shit that I want to do. Especially, I just bought a house recently, so I'm like fucking
Oh,
focused on
nice,
like
man.
fixing it, and I'm busy as shit. And I'm trying to do this
Yeah.
podcast and all my crazy nonsense that I got in my mind that I want to do. So
Yeah, no, I
the
feel that.
video game is like cheesecake. You
Yep.
can't always eat cheesecake, but every now and then I'll take a bite
Oh
and
yeah.
indulge. Uh, how old are
You
you right now,
gotta.
Joe?
I'm 23.
23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy
About
your fucking your 20s, man. Just fucking play all the video games. Don't grow up too quick.
I don't even play the game that much for real, man. Music.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's playing the game. Like so.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, that's my philosophy. Is like everything's a game. We're in a game. Like to me, you don't have to think simulation stuff, but that's my brain going over there. But it's like I look at life like it's a video game, and it's like World of Warcraft, but it's real life. You know what I mean? You can actually die, and that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can actually go to prison. You know, if you fuck up or you suffer your consequences and that for your actions, whatever. It's like a video game. You just play smart, figure it out. There's secrets in the game, of course.
Yeah.
And it's up to you. You want to find out how to skip levels like Mario and shit. Whatever it is, like the cheat codes are everywhere, but it depends on how you want to play with it.
Exactly. It's all up to you at that point. That's why I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Because it's life is what you make it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. That's a Nas song. Life is what you make it, and I'm gonna make it.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for real, man, that's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been like the last 6 years since I got married. Not married 6 years ago, but since I got my wife, that I don't know, because of her is like I don't know if you guys believe in like that manifestation stuff. I've been trying to like mess around with that to see what that is. I think honestly, what you put your mind into, repeatedly and focus on it.
You can like bring about certain things.
But it's not. It's like they because I'm into the spirituality stuff, and they all say like, oh, you ask the universe, and the universe will give it to you. And I think it's more to it than that. But you have to move your body. You know what I mean?
I feel it more like in a broad sense. So like when I think of stuff like that, or when I manifest things, it's not for me. It's not things because I do the same thing.
Right.
But for me, it's not anything like specific. It's not like, oh, I want to manifest this specifically. It's more like broad, like, oh, I'm gonna open up doorways that lead me into success.
Yeah.
Or things like that. At least me personally, I'm more broad with it. I don't really see it like, I'm gonna get this car. I'm gonna get this car, which it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not it's the same thing, but I go just more broad with it.
You're more open to the possibilities of what comes to you.
Because you could be so stuck on wanting this, and you don't even know this door right here.
You're missing out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's actually smart, right? Yeah. That's the way to do it. Like when you, because that's I do something similar, but I say when I desire something with great passion, like I don't know how to get it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I really don't know what I'm doing. This is why my show is called William Knows Nothing. Is because I can't continue, just like in jiu-jitsu when I train, and I my ego would get the best of me sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I'm good as shit. Yeah, I'm good. I just tapped that guy to fuck out. Yeah. And then a purple belt will come and fuck me up and tap me out 6 times in one roll in 5 minutes. And I'm like, fuck. So like, I continue to have that beginner's mind, or continue to have that. I don't know shit, man. I just got to keep learning. That's the same way I look at manifestation. It's like, I don't know how I'm getting there. Yeah. I don't know how I'm getting there, but I want it. Can you hear my child in the background, by the way?
A little bit. It's all right.
Okay. Because she's like really loud. I can't tell if you can hear her.
I got 4 or 5 nieces and a nephew, dude. I'm already.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I'm just making sure quality wise for the audio, but I can't really do much about it.
No, they're not like crazy loud.
Yeah. What the fuck was I saying? But anyway, yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm like playing with this whole manifestation shit because I didn't believe in it before, until things happened. Like I'm like, oh shit. I asked for this, and there's some things negative wise that I asked for, and I didn't mean to, but it happened, and I'm like,
sometimes like I feel like it kind of like trains your mind, so like to work towards it. So like it's not like you're, I want this so bad, and then boom, it pops up. It's forcing your mind to work towards that goal, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally or subconsciously, you don't even know, but the moves you're making are going towards that goal.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing for me. That's why I got into it or something like that. You know what I
That
mean?
what? So
I looked into it.
how did you get into all this? Like what you're thinking about? Like you're talking, like you know, even though I like to keep the mindset that we know nothing, but you have some experiences that show that you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
But what got you into this? Like what started you?
cause so like it's like little stuff like it'll be first it'll be just mental like positivity. You're going through things or you're stressed out in your day, so you try to keep yourself moving. But also from other people, I've heard from other people, a lot of things about them manifesting things and it happens, or them manifesting specific things and it ends up coming about. Like they'll come about that thing they were manifesting. So that's what made me get into it. And then as far as then, at that point, once you get into it, it's all how you take it in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I'll chime in on that.
Go ahead.
So I think a lot of us, when we're in that sponge stage or that moldable stage as young kids, and we get carted off to church. There's my cue. See, I told you that was gonna happen.
You
Um,
manifested it.
yeah, hey,
Nah, you just going by past experiences, man. Yeah.
yeah. So I'll be right up.
See, I'm single, no kids. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm married with kids. I love it though.
Yeah.
So
It's
hold that thought. I'm a key in on that because,
yeah,
like I said, we get carted off to church,
yeah,
and it's part of
Yeah.
yeah,
the initial, like when they start to put in like that path where what you're going to start believing in until you create your own or be able to start thinking for yourself. This is what they put in for you. This is, and
Usually
depending on
religion,
your
yeah.
parents, yeah, depending on your parents where they're going. But it's not until you start to realize things for yourself that wait a minute, and you start questioning. It's when you start questioning
Yeah.
certain things that you start to evolve or open up and broaden, your thought process, and then that's what the hunger. If you're just one of those type of people that um, you're content or you're okay, all right, this is what we're gonna do. All right, well, Geppetto has a puppet. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And you're just gonna do whatever somebody tells you. But if you think past that, then you'll start to question, wonder, you know, and that's the type of being that we are initially. Is somebody who's gonna you're gonna want to know more.
yep.
Tap into
Yeah.
the information. So, um, but I'll be right back because I want to jump on that.
You good, man.
Let me say
uh,
that.
No, I agree with it,
I,
man.
yeah, I value all perspectives, man. It's like this whole manifestation shit. Like I was against it at first. 'Cause I was like, come on, man, you're really gonna ask the universe to give you something. You got to work for it, man. You got to like put your
Right.
mind. You got to do it yourself. Like you're a human being. You do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
uh, and eventually after I started to do things, blah blah, like practice spirituality. I got into Buddhism. I got into Zen. I got into all the different kinds of like practices for meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Things started to happen. Uh, the more I thought of it, the more I, so to speak, manifested it. But I was like, I still, because I'm a very scientific driven person, like I have to understand it. But then I
Right.
realize
That's how I am too.
this is something we can't really put science on, but it's a relationship of science that we can have with it. Where eh, I then I came up with this philosophy. Basically, you have to be your own scientist. You can't rely
Yeah.
on the science on others. Like, cause I was like looking for science from others. Like, what does the science say? And the science doesn't have any data on it. They don't have much. They just first of all, it's bias. Is a lot of it that's based
Yeah.
on money and power, and you see now what's going on where uh, I don't know if you pay attention to the COVID stuff, but like everyone
Yeah.
does. But like the deeper shit where uh, they're preventing people from getting information that's insightful for us to take care of ourselves. First of all, they're not even telling a lot of people that your immune system takes care of itself as long as you take care of your immune system.
Right.
You don't need to rely on what they say as long as you're taking care of your health. I mean, what are you doing with your body that is causing you to be easily affected by the coronavirus, right?
Yeah, or have a more detrimental experience than
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, exactly. If you're, and then they show the signs of like obesity and those who already had bullshit fuck with them, and their respiratory system and all that. I'm not good with the body and all that, but
No, I feel you.
I'm very very simple basic with
Yeah, me
health.
too, dude.
But I get into my tangents about anything that that gets me upset
I feel it,
because
bro.
it's like humans I value so much now more than ever. Humans in general, like I value all of us, and this is my belief, or I don't want to say it's a belief that I'm attached to, but a belief that I ran into that made sense. I was like, it could be a thing, man. I was like, you know what? This is why I get it. I get why Buddhists and I don't know if you heard of Alan Watts.
Alan Watts. What is that?
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts.
A
Alan Watts.
L Allen. A
Oh,
L A N.
Alan.
Yeah, Alan Watts.
Okay.
You should look into that if you seem to be interested in this stuff. So, he has a lot of like lecture type talks, but
Right.
not like lecture, but he talks for like 2 hours, man. And his first of all, his voice is soothing as fuck, so you want to listen because he sounds very like profound. Like the way his voice is, he has like this English accent or whatever,
Okay.
or British. I'm not sure or what the difference is, but he basically sounds like legit. And then when you hear his words, it's like he's preaching like some good shit, you know, about Buddhism and Zen and just life in general. And ever since I started listening to him, his beliefs started to make sense to me. And I was like, I was like, this could be a thing. And that's what led me on to exploring more about Buddhism and Zen and trying to figure shit out myself, being a curious monkey that we are. Just
Right.
like my brother mentioned earlier, that we what we question drives us to the answers that uh, we we absolutely need and desire the most out of
Right.
this experience. Um, I don't know if you know about this. I just want to tell you and tell the people who are listening or watching that if you, I love this, but it's not. Again, this is one of the secrets that I meant. It's not a secret, but it's more like it's like when you get in a video game and you get a quest, and they're like, you want to figure out how to defeat that, do that quest. They're like, well, you could do this. You could try this out, and
Yeah.
basically that is ask questions, right? So
Right.
when you
I got you.
ask yourself a question. You can go ahead and ask others. You can go ahead and ask YouTube and whatever research and look for answers, valid answers or whatever, or non-valid answers. But overall, we all have this thing, not the mind, not the brain, but consciousness coming in. We're receiving this information. This is what I was talking about, core beliefs.
Yeah, I
Uh,
got you.
uh, that we receive information when we ask for it. So not like, oh, how can I get rich? Then the answer's gonna come. It's more being in tune with like, how can I get this thing that how can I understand that? How can what is this? What is that? What is life? What is life's
Right.
purpose? Why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
Questions that I would ask you, I would, you'll get your answer, like you'll answer me. But if you ask yourself that question, it may be a different answer, and you may ask over and over again, and you may get a different answer all the time, or it may be the same answer, and that might just be your answer to lock on with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, I don't know
Which
where
it
I'm
is
going.
sometimes.
What's up?
Which it is sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
because sometimes, like, I will do that, and instead of going and looking at for somebody else, or seeing somebody else's opinion, or doing research, I'll see what I think first, or take my take on it, and then go from there and see how, from what I'm thinking or my opinion, is compared to theirs.
Right.
Maybe I might miss some facts that they, talk
Yeah.
about, or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was what you meant.
No, yeah, and you could
But
be
you know what I
wrong,
mean?
but
Exactly.
the
I
point
could be
is,
wrong, or I
right? Go
could
ahead.
be, or it could be opinionated, or I could be right. You know what I mean? It's just all on me initially.
Yeah, it's your story. It's
Right.
like
You know
you're
what I
the
mean?
one. Yeah, you're the driver behind, not the driver, but you're the person that is you're living your life.
Yeah.
And we have to respect that. We have to all respect that. That I'm living my life, you're living yours. Keeney's living his. Everyone else in that house is living their own life, and
Right.
we have to like ease up on the telling people what to do shit.
Right.
I'm doing that now, saying people we need to stop, blah blah. But
No, I got
you
you.
get my point. Because what happens when we attach ourselves to telling other people what to do is what's going on now today. Uh, I don't know your perspective, but my perspective is like a lot of people are going through COVID. You know, uh, what do you call it? Post COVID anxiety or post COVID effects of like dealing with their emotions because all that shit was bottled in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So people are fucking going crazy and shit.
Yeah, yeah. You got people. You got fucking shootings, more
But
shootings,
no,
more.
seriously, yeah, and that's true, yeah. And that's everywhere. You go downtown, it's fights, shootings going on. That's true. That's been happening a lot too.
Yeah,
Riots and shit.
and it's
Well,
all
not riots, but like, you know what I mean?
no,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah,
people just wilding out.
yeah.
And there'll be in groups of them sometimes.
Yeah, and I get lost in that sometimes. I get hurt. I get sad because I'm a. I think we're all empathic, but
What's
I
your
hate.
sign?
What's up?
What's your sign?
Sagittarius. I almost forgot
Okay,
my sign because
nice.
that's something I stopped following because my wife she like beat me in the head with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I used to be
Some people are like to me are too deep a little bit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but
What? Okay, talk about that. What do you find interesting about science, zodiac, or astrology?
I think signs are more like to me, I never really like worried about like the astronomy part of it or like stars and which moon you are and all that shit. I wasn't worried about that. I always took it as a okay, this is basically a broad description of like a characteristic. I don't know, like a description of what type of person you could be or you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's real broad, but I've come to see that there's a lot of like accuracy in the broad
Mm.
top,
What
in
do you
the
mean by like?
enforcement.
Give me an example of like broad, like when you like. I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm gonna just throw it out there. The reason why I don't mess with my sign anymore is because uh when we for me my again this is I any of my beliefs that I mention, these are beliefs that they're not really core beliefs, but they're more like they're right there. I'm looking at them and I stare at all of them like a chessboard and the chess pieces. And it's like
Right,
I'm gonna put that belief right there and test that out, see what happens. You know what I mean?
right.
And like so Zodiac is like it's my wife kind of we played
Yeah, I
chess
got you.
together and she won me over with the Zodiac stuff. But I still it's back. She even bought me a fucking book. I don't know where's it at, but it's like on signs. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Someone gave me this book on. I've been really obsessed with books. Like fucking, when you play video games, you get too many video games, you have a backlog,
Yep.
and then you can't fucking you can't even keep up with
There's
them.
Jones you have for months and haven't even opened them.
Yeah, that's what my books are. I have
Yeah.
this book right here called Symbols that someone
Oh,
gave
okay.
me, and I was
That's
interested in
dope.
it. Yeah, because I love the yin yang sign. I love there's a bunch of like symbols that I love. The triangle, pyramids,
Yeah.
the circle, of course.
Give you some meaning behind them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious about what based on our history.
It's crazy. Like certain shapes and stuff have meaning, like spirals
Oh
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, they do. It's all so geometry, sacred geometry is like an actual thing that has been since way beyond our time. So it's like
Yeah.
I try to go back every now and then to research that just to see how that plays with today because there's a lot of shit that these humans used to do back then that it's like it's lost knowledge, man,
Yeah.
and that's all I've been doing is just like scavenging for like knowledge just to see what works and what what they're trying to hide from us.
Yeah, and then the craziest part is depicting what's actually facts and what's just on the internet,
Yeah,
especially with the internet. You know what I mean?
right.
It's so easy to, you read this and then it turns out it's completely false. So
Yep.
then, it kind of puts you in that predicament, like what's
That's
really real.
that's
That's
what
why books are actually a good thing.
Yeah, that's why one of my main philosophies that I mentioned earlier is be your own scientist. Yeah, you
Yep.
want to find something out, do your own
Yeah.
science. Don't
Yeah.
don't not to say like hurt yourself over it, but like I put it out there that I've done things that I never thought I would do. Like I had a mushroom trip, and I never thought I would do that. I thought I would steer clear away from that shit, but
Yeah.
I did it, and it showed me stuff, and I said, oh, all this shit is hidden from us because they
Yeah.
don't want us to do this shit, because I see why. I get why. It's the responsibility. It's with great power comes great responsibility, whatever the quote. But it's like we
Yeah.
got to be careful too, because that is
Right.
all these herbs or these plants that were given to us, gifted to us, are like sacred plants that uh years beyond like this stuff that I'm learning from books,
Yeah. And
that
it's natural.
yeah, it's fascinating. I'm like getting on a tangent again, but again, I got this book because of this book. So symbols,
Yeah.
it drove me to the secret language of astrology, just to like, again, not to believe in it, but just to like fiddle around and see what this is. And
But I feel like that gets a little bit probably deeper than like
it's fucking,
zodiac signs and
yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't want to get too crazy with all that shit, but
Yeah, I got you.
like, my curiosity, like my brother mentioned earlier, is like I have all these questions, and I found out that I have the answers in here. So let me, all right, fuck it, I'll just do that, and then just research every now and then. Be careful, but
Yeah.
um,
Trial and error as well.
exactly, exactly. That's what
Mhm.
science. That's what science is.
Mhm.
You come up with your hypothesis, and then you fuck around with this, fuck around with that, mix that in,
Yep.
and,
That's what it
oh,
is. Yeah. Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
you
And
just
I'm
gotta
glad
be
you said
careful.
that's what science is because, people look at science like, you know what I mean? Like, especially like religious people, it's like it's evil or science is just like false, a whole bunch of false and just made in the government trying to make stuff up, all types of things.
Yeah,
So
my,
it's like I actually, I like the fact that, you know what I mean, science is even a thing.
there's three things, man, that I incorporate with my lifestyle. Is I incorporate religion. I go with all the religions. I don't just pick one. I go
Right.
all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
what, I got a Bible upstairs in my bathroom. I read that John when I'm around shitting.
Yeah.
I
You got
got
a
my
Quran somewhere, I
I
bet.
got I don't have a Quran yet. I didn't go that deep, but I just
Okay.
I went into Buddhism, like I said, Buddhism, Christianity, uh, and I spoke to other people with different religions, but overall, I was like, oh, so it's all connecting more. It's making more sense. I don't know what the religion of what's that called? Jewish religion, but there's stuff that I heard from there. I forget what it's called, but they're
Judaism.
what is it?
Is it
Is it
Judaism?
Judaism? Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Is that Jewish
Yeah.
religion?
Jewish is
No, Jewish were
I don't remember, but
yeah.
overall, again, this is one of those beliefs I'm talking about that I'm not attached to. I think it's all connected in a way,
Yeah,
and it's
I
all
do too.
people want to divide each other into
Yup.
like the way we're dividing ourselves now into our skin color and our gender and our whatever the fuck we
Mm-hmm.
want to divide ourselves. We're all one fucking race, dude. We're human beings, and
It's
it's
the same
like
thing, just
it's
born on different sides of the planet.
yeah, but we want to.
Mhm.
It's that ego, man. The ego is a
Oh yeah,
beautiful thing, but it's also a killer.
yeah,
The ego can do wonders, like Michael Jordan.
yeah.
Michael Jordan was amazing with his ego,
Oh
but
yeah.
it also fucked him up, like in a way.
Mm-hmm.
uh Same thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin. His ego drove him into being Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Yeah.
but he missed out on him raising his family because he didn't balance it.
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's just shit that I'm talking about, though. Like, that we're all one race, we're all one thing. That's a core belief, but I'm like, I don't know yet. Still, I'm like, I have it right there in my heart that I really believe that we're all one thing. that we just like to separate ourselves because we like to make it fun and interesting.
Well, let me ask you a good question. I actually asked my buddy about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think would actually like? What's like a one? I don't want to say one thing, but what would do you think would unify? You know, us as just a species.
All they have to do is see something.
You know what I mean?
Oh, he has to do what?
All you have to do is see something. If you can see anything that any of these religions have talked about, and anything that's just spoken of on like faith or believing something that you can't see, if you can see something that they spoke about, and we can all see it with our own eyes and physically start to, the minute you start to do this, you believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you feel it.
When you feel it.
When you feel it, right? So, and that right there, he gave that answer straight up. Like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm working on a book called "Tend to Your Garden," and I don't think it's the end all be all answer, but "Tend to Your Garden" is essentially live and let live. You know what I mean? We all have gardens. I don't know. Not everyone has a garden, but everyone has some kind of backyard or something that you have a space in your house on the back of your house or the front, and
front porch,
something that everyone else can see. Like right now, I have a backyard and it's nice enough, and I hooked it up for the kids, and I'm also trying to hook it up for me so I can sit out there and meditate and do my own thing. And I'm basically doing everything I want to do with my yard, and then my neighbors. So I live in a not so. It's better than where I lived before in the ghetto, where it was just Hennessy bottles in my fucking yard thrown from other yards, 10 basketballs in my yard. I don't know where these basketballs were coming from.
Yeah, they was aiming for your yard.
Yeah, there was something going on that they were just aiming for my yard, cigarette butts and all this crazy shit. There was actually a couple roaches, like weed or whatever. I was really pissed because we got kids back there. But
right,
my backyard now is just good shit for the kids as much as I'm trying to improve it. And then over there you got weeds, like a bunch of like just overgrown weeds, and then they cut it every now and then. On the left of me, you got someone else like planting their own garden, like it looks nice, like their fruits and vegetables and all that shit they're doing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I'm leaving them the fuck alone. I'm letting them do what they want to do with their garden. That's their garden.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's how I look at us in our minds, in our life, in our bodies. I'm letting everybody else do what they want with their body, with their minds. Just as long as you're not affecting my garden, like we all chilling, Yeah. But if you got a garden that is producing some shit that's affecting my garden, I gotta say something. Like, oh, come on, let's ease up, and yeah, let's take it easy. And like if you have a religion and you believe in this, that's cool. I respect you, but let's respect what I'm doing here too. That's like unity.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
What's up? I gave you one, girl. This girl is like,
she's lit, man.
She's like, she tries to run my life, man.
Dude, her name, that was the best name, dude.
Aria?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely strong-willed, like Aria.
Yeah.
I'm like scared what I did. Oh, I'm manifesting a real life Aria over here.
Ooh. That sounds dangerous to me.
Yeah, she's gonna be a what do you call it? A many-faced assassin.
Faceless,
whatever you call that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful what I ask for.
Yeah, man.
I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that is that's my path. That's what I've came to understand for myself, why I'm here. Besides passing on the torch with my kids and my family, tending to my garden. That's my what do you call that? That's my greenhouse. They have a garden. They have gardens too. I gotta tend to their weeds. I gotta make sure they understand what they're doing, guide them so that they can take care of themselves in their garden. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I love that. I don't know. Again, I'm not even creating these things. These are just coming to me based on everything that I've been messing around with when it comes to consciousness.
Dude, I love that logic though. Seriously.
Man. And that's why I'm preaching it or talking about it, because I just, whatever helps you. It's like, it's a seed, that's another reason why it's all in my book that I'm trying to write.
This guy right here, because now he has grandkids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now the greenhouse is getting bigger.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
My wife's
Crazy.
philosophy, she said, I forgot what she said. How she, the way she phrased it is perfect, but she said, "You're raising your you're raising your grandkids' kids or something like that." I don't know if that makes sense. You're raising your grandkids' kids.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just she said. She phrased it. She'll kill me if I
Yes.
I'm ruining her shit. But it's something like that. Where basically you're raising the future, man. It's like you have to
Right.
think ahead. You
You
know,
have to think ahead, man.
yeah, like a chess game. You know, like we have to think 5 steps ahead. You know, just so that we're taking care of our planet and ourselves.
Right. And that's the saddest thing because, a lot of these younger generation, they're having kids so early. And not even then, not even that's the bad thing. It's just the fact of that. Your brain is not even developed, or you're not in the perspective or position to really be ready to think ahead,
Mm,
because you're not even thinking ahead of your own personal situation. So
yeah.
let alone thinking for another human being. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's sad, man. It's sad nowadays because that's all you see. Especially I'm part of the younger generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can name about 10 friends off the bat, and about 8 of them have kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I feel the same way.
Not that
You
that's
know.
a bad thing.
No.
You know
No.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
No. I know what you
It's
mean.
just 8 out of 8 of them, I know all of them. The mentality is not there, and
Yeah.
that's why you see on social media people posting about not having personal time for themselves, or they're stressed out, all this anxiety, or bad parenting, or kids growing up a certain way. It's just a lot.
People are having too many gardens, man.
Yeah, man.
Putting
And
too
then
much
and
food on
then
their plate.
and that's the thing. Like, have as many gardens as you want, but you have to tend to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Because
get what I'm saying?
weeds grow, and
Right.
just
If not,
shit
they'll
just happens.
right.
Insects creep up, and as I'm learning how to garden, like literally, because I'm trying to write the book on that format. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Wow,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah. So I'm trying to learn how to garden as I'm writing about my philosophy of tending to your garden and all that.
Yeah.
But something is eating my damn flowers. Like the petals are all
Okay.
like fucked up.
Is it like indoor or outdoor?
It's outdoor, yeah. I got indoor stuff too, but yeah, there's a lot of it was only like 3 plants, but I wanted to grow like fruits and vegetables myself. Pique. I want to grow peppers and shits because I'm trying to
Yeah.
make hot sauce.
That's what I've been wanting to do.
Yeah. Oh, make hot sauce or
Grow
grow
peppers to
peppers.
make hot sauce. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point. But I want to grow the peppers though too,
yeah. Same.
or like the little
Um.
chili peppers too.
Yep. Chili
Yeah, I want to do
peppers,
all that.
jalapeno,
Jalapeno, yeah, man.
yeah,
Green pepper,
habanero.
red pepper,
Yep.
habanero. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Um. I was gonna ask you in return, based on your like you asked me the question. I'm gonna ask you the same question. What do you think will help unite us?
Um, Honestly, I asked you the question because I couldn't come up with like an exact, something that I personally feel comfortable with, like personally. So
What?
I did, like I said, I had this discussion with one of my boys, and one of the things that unfortunately, like, we came up with, which I feel is a fact, it's just more towards the negative. So, like, if we all, like, for example, the average person, if we have a common enemy, right? The
Mm.
enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, in that sense, like, if we all had, for example, like, if just the planet itself had something that conflicted against, like, the people, like us as a species. You know what I mean? And it sucks to compare it to like a natural disaster or something, but, like, like an alien species or something, for example, over exaggerated. But you know what I mean? If that was like a common enemy, that will unify everybody,
Hmm.
because now it's them against us, and not
Right.
us as in my family,
Hmm.
us as this planet. This is the Earth.
Yeah.
That includes everybody, Africa, China, everything.
I know where you're going with this, but go
You
ahead.
get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
it's a negative idea, but it's still at least one
I know.
way.
Yeah. And that's true. And it is a way. It is a way, and it happened multiple times in our
Right.
history in human life.
Right. There's
The
been
most,
there's been
the World Trade Center. What did it do?
you still
uh,
hear me, right?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I clicked the button.
No, you're
But
good.
yeah.
The World Trade Center when that happened, everybody
Everybody.
united and brought they got
Mhm.
their flags and everyone was like, you know what I mean? For how many years? You know?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I mean? And that's what I mean. Like something, it would have to be something major,
right.
or like, you know what I mean, something big. But that's something that's one thing that I thought about.
That's part of the reason why I've been doing my dead pigeon thing. Bika blessings.
Yeah.
Because Bika is hot sauce. What's hot
Yeah.
sauce? You get that hot sauce. Ah, fuck. Ah,
Yeah.
shit. Motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
learned this, and that's why I came up with it, me and my wife, because I was never into hot sauce. I hated hot sauce.
Really,
Yeah, I couldn't even eat hot Cheetos. Like I was like,
I
yeah,
love hot sauce, dude.
I was a complete bitch with that shit. I used to
Yeah.
eat the hot Cheetos. Like, fuck that. I'm good. But my wife got me into it. She just told me whatever. She told me try it, blah blah blah. And I didn't like it, but then she's like, just keep doing it, and I did it. And I said, oh, it's not that hot anymore. So I was
Yeah.
adapting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute. Oh, and then jujitsu came to mind because I was. This is around the same time. Every time I get choked out, or every time I go roll, and I hate it, but whenever I adapt to, I'm comfortable with the uncomfortable situations.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like adversity. You know,
Yeah.
when you're uncomfortable with adversity and you're dealing with it, you are
Mhm.
gaining what's it called?
Tolerance
Tolerance. Yeah.
or
Tolerance, or there's another word I had in my mind.
yeah, you're gonna
Adapt.
oh no, it's a way to it's no longer like, oh, what's happening. There's no longer that element of surprise. It's, I kind of know what's coming, so it's easier to deal with something that you've already kind of experienced.
Right.
So
And your
It,
mind's no longer on, you know, in that moment. Now you're thinking of what can I do or the next move.
right.
As far as like relating to that jujitsu and stuff.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just like stuck on that word because I came up with this thing called formulas of philosophy.
Yeah.
It's basically, so I must uh so I, you know, the pyramid, right, the triangle. uh I have a bunch of these. I'm trying to collect more of these Jones, uh so that I
Oh yeah,
can
that's
do what I
dope.
do. My wife got me this, John, but basically each side, you know, there's three sides of the triangle, right? And then there's
Right.
four sides for the pyramid, squares underneath. The stuff that I'm trying to develop as a system so that I can write a different book, not Tend to Your Garden. It's a whole different philosophy book. But the formulas of philosophy is, one of them is on thinking. So you got logic, rational, and critical. So you add those all together.
Oh,
That's
okay.
thinking, right? The other one the one I wanted to talk about now is that word. I'm like looking for it because I wrote, fortitude. Thank you, fortitude.
Fortitude.
So fortitude is what you gain from adversity. Like you go through adversity, you gain fortitude. Once you have fortitude, you're like, I've been fucking well, yeah. Okay, hold on. So like when you I don't know if you've rolled in jiu-jitsu before.
No,
Hey,
I've
when
never even tried it.
now jiu-jitsu, I don't know if you're interested in that. I
I mean,
sorry.
I've watched
I
like
try to
people like
recruit people.
fights and stuff like that, but I've never physically done it.
Yeah, I'm like
But
a
my buddy says
military
they,
recruiter. I always try to get people to join us, join the
yeah, yeah,
jiu-jitsu world. It's not just jiu-jitsu; it's martial arts in general. But
yeah, I would
jiu-jitsu
too.
is the most. It's something that adds with our body, mind, and spirit. That jiu-jitsu has it. Uh, that it gives you the ability to understand everything that you're talking about right now. You know, with
Right.
the pique, you know, or whatever.
Okay.
So, like for example, I'm dealing with sweaty balls or sweaty men. I'm dealing with strangulation, someone making me feel really uncomfortable when they choked me in my neck. I'm dealing with someone who's super aggressive, or if their body's like all over the place. Holy shit! Like someone's trying to kill me. So like, you know, you have that initial response, our animal like response. Guinea's looking because he knows what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like,
Yeah,
motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
is that tense? Like, you know, but you
Yeah.
have to be calm.
yeah.
Right.
Being calm is where you have the most strength.
Yeah.
With that whatever, that anger or whatever the fuck. But anyway, when you go through that adversity of something, you gain fortitude. So now you're used to it. So now the more I roll, the more I'm used to these dudes doing what they do. It's like it starts to get more subtle, like he mentioned
Right.
earlier,
Yeah.
and that's fortitude. But
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like the first time you get punched in the fucking face,
oh yeah, I remember that.
and you know, because that's
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's what you feared the most. Like you never wanted to get into a fight because you until you've learned what contact is. For most people, that's why they avoid it.
Yep,
They avoid confrontation because they're not used to dealing with it. And once you get hit, and you're like, oh shit, I could take this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're gonna have to hit. Then you start to get a little cocky. You're gonna have to hit me harder than that.
that's me.
You're gonna have to hit me
Yeah.
more than once.
That's
Yeah.
me
You
in
know,
Muay
'cause
Thai. Yeah,
yeah, you gotta, you know, it's gonna take more than that. You start kicking lines out like that, you know what I mean? But then
yep,
you know you got something. You're on to something, and you're like,
yep,
you know what, I could do this. I can handle this. And so getting hit is not so bad after all.
yeah.
And then you know
Right.
that's when
Now you're ready for it.
you can find that because if you can find that peace within the chaos, um,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
and
Right.
you're gonna be you'll definitely move a lot better than whatever the opponent is. Whether
Hmm.
it doesn't necessarily have to be anybody in physical terms. It could be somebody. I mean, it could be something. It could be something that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? An aggressive boss who is kind of pointing down at you and making you feel like you're a piece of shit. How do you deal with that? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
and
There.
for me, it's helped. It's helped because I use that now. Um, I see a lot of things too where I see people who try to oppress other people, you know, by either words, mostly words and stuff like that, and then holding position over them. A lot of people are scared to lose their jobs, so they're not
Hmm.
willing to
Try
stand
things.
up for themselves,
That's a
Yeah.
big one.
you know. And
Yep.
so I see it more in that way. Like I said, it's like takes me all the way back to when I was in school, and you got these bullies that would step up to you, and they only did it because they were bigger than you, or maybe, they just um, they had an issue too. That there was something rooted within them. Somebody probably bullied them.
In
Yeah.
their house. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's what they know, and that's what they're gonna dish out. But for the most part, dealing with opposition or somebody as an opponent, it does, like I said, doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical person. It could be something that you're dealing with. Something that you're afraid to do. Let's say you wanted to do skydiving. It's like I'm afraid. I don't know what, because the biggest element. I mean, it's not a surprise. You're gonna jump out of a fucking airplane.
Hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Is your parachute going to open? These are things that, as you get older, you start to think of more stuff that could possibly happen
Yeah.
because your brain is starting to you're filling it up with experience. And so,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know what? Ask me now that I'm 40, will I jump out of an airplane? And my answer would be different than when I was 20.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Fuck yeah, I'll jump out of an airplane if I'm 20.
Yeah.
But now that I'm 40, I was like,
Now
yeah,
you
you
want.
know what? I've seen too much shit happening. I don't think I
What are
put
the
my ass right here on the
circumstances?
ground.
How high are
Yo,
we going?
same. I'm the same.
You know what I mean?
I'm like I wanted to jump out of a plane for the longest. Like I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just wanted to skydive so bad,
Me too, man.
and I heard too many things, and then I was like, all right. And now I'm at this age now. I got kids. I got a family. I'm like, I'm just like
Yeah.
priorities.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I still want to jump off a tower.
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Oh yeah.
Like I'll jump off a tower like the Rangers and shit. You know what I mean? With the
Uh-huh.
just
That's what I
just
was saying. Well,
training,
how
just training.
high?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or some people do like the bungees off the bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever the risk reward thing, is whatever
Right. Right.
the higher the risk, it's it ain't worth it. I was thinking about that the
Yeah.
other
Oh
day.
yeah.
This is a question I was going to ask you, but this question I ask myself often is, why are we here? Because I don't have the answer. Nobody has the answer. I think a lot of
Right.
people can come up with speculation and certain theories, but The answer that comes to me when I ask, why am I here? That's easy. They're not easy, but it came to me, it came to me in different ways, and I'm learning to live by it. What I'm here for. Uh, but training and discipline and all that shit. But for us, I want to know, why are we here?
Right.
Why are all of us here? What is the
Right.
whole point of this?
I agree, and I think that's at some point every human being's like it passes through the thought process, man. It
Yeah.
has to. And I mean, it's hard, man, because I can't not agree with you because we don't know. You know what I mean? So, but
it's fun to speculate.
it definitely is, and that's the best part about it because you're real open to information, and then you'll be able to really be able to do real research because you're not biased towards anything.
Right.
That's the one thing I had to realize. I grew up religious, so I had to come to a point where I have to step out of every boundary and be open to all boundaries,
Right.
any religion or no religion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I had my time,
So
research and shit.
your life, not your life, but life in general is an open book. This world, this universe is an open book. So why would you close your book to the universe, which is already open? You know what I mean?
Right.
The universe didn't close its book. You know what I'm saying? Like the universe didn't say like it's closed-minded. Like no, the universe is the universe. We can't go. We can go as far as we can with science and look how far we can go and how many light years away we. I don't know I'm not good at astronomy, but I'm just saying in general. Why would you close your mind to the possibilities? And I thought of it with programming when I was learning how to program code. They have like
I
this.
seen you were doing that.
Yeah, I was learning, and I realized the reason why I was learning is because I'm doing what I'm doing. What, you see her?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Dude, look, she's peeking under your arm there. Oh, man.
She said it's funny. I can't see her, but because my screen is so small, but I'm just imagining. What?
There she goes.
Yeah, she.
Okay, she wants juice. Let me get right back to you guys.
Go ahead.
We're stuck on. I was talking about. Oh, I wanted to say open source. So in coding, you learn open source is a bunch of coders coming collectively to work on one project. That's what open source coding is. And
oh shit.
Yeah, and that is like Facebook and all these apps are open source. They were open source to the group, but there's different ways of doing it. There's like open source to the world. Everyone can do it, and let's see what we can do with everybody. But let's let's control what we're doing here. Let's not fuck up this code. We're working on this project, this foundation, blah 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 blah. But that's how you know what I mean. If you think on your own what I'm talking about, that's basically how I'm coming closer
does that
to.
Come down to like the internet, like something like that.
Yeah, the internet is like fucking. It's the universe. The internet is the universe. Is the internet. The outer net is the universe.
Infinite.
Infinite.
Right.
Yeah, the internet is infinite with so much information and blah blah. But the way I'm saying it is, I was trying to come up with why are we here, and what came to me was because we are here to learn to be open source, like open books. We are here to be the universe, to be like the universe, where we're learning about it and expanding it and creating. So I think that's my theory. It's not, I'm not saying this is why we're here, but I'm just thinking my theory. I came to a conclusion, my own science, whatever, my own mind. We're here to create. God created us, right? Or
real quick.
You
said I think you had just mentioned, you said you came to the conclusion, but I think it's more of you've reached what you're thinking is at this point right now. Where
yes,
you're at
thank
right
you.
Now,
yeah, thank you. You know what I meant. I say words.
So I just because I was thinking, I was like, I know he's not done.
No, I'm not done.
So so you've reached the point right now where this is pretty much where you're kind of
listening.
I guess where you're go ahead, give her some juice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her juice. I'm listening though. I want to hear what you're saying because I had a point based on what you're saying of what I'm doing. The conclusion word came up. I'm not attached to words that much, but basically overall what I'm doing is creating pyramids.
Yeah.
Pyramid here, pyramid here, pyramid here, and I'm like remembering what they are and I'm putting them right in front of me. Like I remember what this is. I remember That's my conclusions. Like, I'm not saying I'm done. I'm saying I'm putting it on pen. I'm trying to like what comes here, whatever comes here, I put it down on paper. I have it on my stones. Apparently, I have to put it so other people can learn, including my kids, of course, and whoever else is interested in this stuff. But the conclusions are things for people to pick up and look at it, and then think for themselves. What do you think?
Yeah, draw from it.
Yeah, draw from it. This was a conclusion here, but I don't know. I'm just holding it there and I'm building on it. It's a triangle. It's gonna keep building up. You know that when you roll up the ball, or it comes down, whatever. That was another philosophy thing. What's his name? Sisyphus. You know what I'm talking about?
He's a philosopher.
No, I'm all over the place. But Sisyphus. Sisyphus. I forget. There's this Greek tale of this man who was cursed by rolling up a boulder up a mountain and it falling down the mountain over and over again. So he had to keep pushing that boulder up the mountain. So that was my idea of what we are. We have to push up. We have to climb up, and then we got to go back down. We got to climb. We got to go over here, climb up again. And the more we do it, the more stronger we get, the more fortitude, the more bigger it gets, blah, blah, the harder it gets. That's what we are as a species since we started, you know what I mean? Since we started as humans in general, like the caveman till now, where we got technology now as a challenge because AI is coming or it's here, whatever.
Right. Oh no, it's here, dude.
Yeah. Let me get my daughter.
Go ahead.
I get obsessed with this shit. You guys are like giving me an extreme dopamine hits right now.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks, brother, for clearing that up, the conclusion thing. Cause there's that thing. My wife tells me this often that I say things, and she always tells me it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And there's things that I do, like when I put words, I'm not paying attention to the words sometimes.
You know what? To be honest with you, I think we all do it because we kind of get carried away in trying to deliver the message, and we're more. I mean, you're trying to get to a point, but like unless you're like an English major, some type of, you know what I mean. I'm not holding you to anything. I just I'm listening to you to the point where I'm trying to absorb what you're saying. So I'm really focused in on what you're saying. So that's why I caught that, because I'm like, I know he's not making a conclusion that he's ending here, because he's obviously saying, well, this is where I'm at right now, what my thought process. This is where, it's like saying, okay, where my journey's led me here. And so until I, figure more stuff out, this is where I'm at.
Right.
And so when I was listening to that, I understood completely. I was like, all right, I know he's not concluding anything. He's just saying, this is where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
So, and that's perfect, because the fact that you're able to put down different ideas. I like the idea with the pyramid.
I love it.
Because when you say you're looking at like the Giza Strip, I mean, there's not just one pyramid, there's multiple.
Yeah.
And, they all meant something different. They were all housing something different. So it's good that you're doing it.
Making me emotional and shit. That shit, it just hit me. Like that's what they did, man. Like, they left something important for us. You know what I mean? To look at, and you said it earlier, ask questions. And I heard it. What's his name? I'm not bad with names, but I gotta stop saying that. It's a guy that basically did a lot of research, and he's like obsessed with this stuff, the Giza and ancient Egypt and all that. I don't know if you heard of him.
I've been watching Gaia. There's a channel.
Me too. Yeah, he's on there.
There's a dude that I watch. I usually catch him on Ancient Aliens. It's like this dude with like his hair's all over the place. Dude, I love him because he's like emotional. He's attached to it. Like he's excited about talking about it.
Yeah.
I think he's like one of the younger guys that talk about it. But he's distinct because his hair is all curly and all over the place. He's not even like, he doesn't even give a shit about what he looks like. He just want to talk about aliens and pyramids and stuff.
What's it called?
It's called Ancient Aliens.
Ancient Aliens. I
You
just
never
want to see
seen
his
that?
face. I have Gaia, so I'm like curious to check it out.
Ancient Aliens, I think, was on
It
History
used to
Channel.
be on History or Discovery.
Oh,
Yeah,
that dude. When
yeah.
he's like high as
Dude,
shit.
he's there's only one. I mean, there's a couple of guys on there, but there's only one that's kind of distinct. He's got a lot of curls in his hair,
Yeah,
and
I
it's like
see.
usually all over the place.
That's funny.
And
Yeah.
so when he's going in, he's going in.
Yeah. It's funny. I never listened to that guy. I always saw that meme though, like the aliens. That's all I
Yeah,
knew him
yeah.
as. I gotta watch that.
Oh, he's
I didn't know
fantastic.
you were into that shit, bro. Like that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm skeptical with Gaia, but I always watch. I just watch. You know.
well,
Yeah.
from what I just brought my mother-in-law up, and she's always she's always watching certain things, and then she likes to kind of like pass that on to me.
Oh,
Like, hey, did
okay.
you watch
Yeah.
this? Did you see
Documentaries.
this?
Oh
And she
yeah.
Yeah.
knows my interests, and so
Yeah.
she subscribed to this network Gaia, and she's started to tell me how that President Trump had signed um, some type of release of information for
UFOs and stuff.
yeah, where you had to
Yeah.
they could no longer hold that information as
Yeah.
top secret. So this channel is just bombarded with people saying, hey, I know this, this is,
Hmm.
coming out. And so she's like infatuated with the channel, and she's like bombarded me with all kinds of like, fines and this, that, and the other. And so
Yeah.
now even her beliefs have altered. I've listened to her for years of what she believed in, and now she watched a few episodes, and dude, she's already like I'm like, what? Did you come off the tracks already?
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Like,
But I mean, for real
Eye
though, like
openers,
I
dude.
mean, I too, like I said, and just getting back to what I said earlier about that. I mean, I know it's tough because we kind of it's not to speak on religion or not, but that's what you get rooted into, whatever your parents are pretty much going to subject you to. And as I grew up, um, mom and dad put me, I guess they were Catholics in the beginning, and then uh, when my pop was out of the picture, our pop was gone for a little bit, and then mom was she was at the helm of the reins for a little bit, and so then we went from Catholic to Christianity. I got a little bit of that, then a little bit of Pentecostal, and so I got to experience a lot of that, the differences in the belief system, and what was pretty much prioritized within just those three things. Um,
And
it
we used to
wasn't a,
even have, I don't mean to cut you, but we used to even have like, religious like debates. I don't want to say debates, but like, we would group up with people at from different churches or whatever, and just we would all bring little pads and stuff and just start talking and conversating, kind of like a podcast, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
And you know what I mean, off different people's perspective, off different religions.
yeah,
It
it
got
was it
deep,
was cool,
man.
but you know what? I had to say that even with my, I was hesitant to just, there was always something about growing up, and I'm like, there's got to be more. There's got to be something else that
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I was never, speaking on like I couldn't go into that room and say, hey, I don't believe any of this stuff, or you got to show me more, because I just didn't know how. I didn't know how to approach it. And then I grow up, and then I have my own family, and guess what? Same thing. I start to take them because I was taught to, take your kids to church, live. I'm trying to follow the guidelines that were set before me, but then something changed within me, and then I gave that option to my kids. You know,
Right.
where you start to say, okay, well, what do you think, and how does your brain absorb, and how do you take in what's happening around us? You know what I mean? You're free to believe, because if we are going by, a certain religion, then you have the freedom to do, you know, what you want to do. You just, I mean, it's all choice. Basically, it's summed up to, you know, you're going to make choices anyway. So this is what you're doing. This is what you have to do to abide by this particular religion, or this, or this, or this. But like I said, it just wasn't enough for me. I got to the point where I experienced certain things within the religion that I could say that I felt certain things, or I was experiencing some type of feelings. But I think that you start to get captured. You capture some of the emotion that's happening around you, and then you get to where, like what you guys are speaking about, manifesting. So if you're in a room with these people who are just falling all over the place, and I'm not speaking on, I'm not, in no way, shape, or form am I disrespecting what's happening within this room, but I'm saying that if you start to think this, you know, I'm gonna get touched, and then I'm gonna get, you know, I'm gonna go into this trance, you know, where I'm all, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. And all of a sudden I wake up and here I am in a fetal position, you know, in tears, because I was so attached to something. My brain was so attached to, you know, being touched by this, you know, spirit or whatever I'm, you know, speaking of, believing in, that I'm actually peeling myself off the ground because I believed it so much, you know, and you don't think, you say, okay, well, you start to, the lines get blurred, and there's a lot of gray area for me. You know what I mean? I just, so I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't explain, you know, that's just the religion part. And then there's that, my mind is always like, I'm always testing things. I'm always like, you know, something plus this has to equal this. And if it has to equal this, then you could do it the back way. It's got to be equal all the way around. It has to have that balance. What's on this side has to be, you know, equal or opposite. It has to be that yin yang for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if this is, so there's you know, too many questions that aren't answered or just not shown. And then it's left up to, well, you just got to believe. Faith. And for me, I'm like, a question you guys were talking about earlier, where what would unify? Well, I mean, first of all, what's number one? What's the number one thing that's, you know, that causes groups of people to do certain things? And to me, if I were asked that question, I would say religion. I don't know anything else that's going to get somebody to hop on a plane and say, I'm taking this plane down because, you know, my God says so. Right. That's true. I feel that. I'm just saying, like, if you could get a country to feel that way, it's the power of religion, bro. So you know, same thing with Christianity. I mean, we heard about, you know, what those the groups of Christians that used to run back into the Crusaders, I think they called them. Yeah. So these guys were doing stuff that they felt was within the religion to do. Right? I mean, so God's will. If you can get
God's
some
will
type of proof.
Sorry.
You know, if you get some type of proof, right? So you say, okay, well, say for all of us, I mean, and it has to, and it almost ends up saying, okay, well, look at what Joe's response was earlier. So say these aliens come out, right? They come out of nowhere, or they come from the ground because they're already here. Whatever whatever the story.
I think they're already here, but yeah.
Right. So see what I'm saying? So whatever it is, say that happens. What do you think is gonna, you know? I mean, the same way. I mean, a unification of the people would have to be something greater than what they already see. Yep. They have to be able to. They have to be able to see it, feel it. Something has to be real to them, and not just one person. It has to be a magnitude of people. Yeah. It has to be across. Dude, I'm telling you right now. Planet. So say that guy on you know, on the show, Ancient Aliens. He's head over heels. He believes about these ancient aliens. Maybe I'm not on the fence with him. Maybe on the other side. But guess what? If I see a damn spaceship come down, I'm gonna believe exactly what he's believing now. Yeah. You don't even gotta, you know, do you believe? Hell yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Yeah. I saw it. Yeah. So I think that for me, that would be definitely a
Yeah.
unification across the board. I don't care what language you speak. It would be, we saw it and it was clear. A hand came from the sky, you know what I mean? And he spoke with thunderous voice, whatever. But
Yeah.
we all heard it. We, not just one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was eyewitnesses everywhere.
Everywhere around the
And guess
world.
what? I I could be holding the Bible, but not even the Bible would hold, the weight of me seeing something.
Yeah.
So you're
Hmm.
telling me for thousands of years this is what it was? Okay, that's cool, but how come we can't see what they saw? Why are we deprived of reading it in a book? You can put anything in a book,
Yeah.
and now you got a story.
That's true.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if
Yep.
you show me, and now we're in a day and age where everything's on video. I mean, everything's being captured by video. So you believe more of what you're seeing on the internet than what you're reading in a book.
And you're pretty much showing the huge problem that humans are dealing with when
Yeah.
it comes to negative stuff happening, and they're believing in more of the negative than the positive. Based on my perspective, I lack perspective overall, but when I see people constantly complaining about what's not happening, police brutality, there's too much, or all whatever, all the political stuff that they talk about, or coronavirus, people are dying, people, like, it's, I'm bringing it over there because what you're talking about with religion, this is why I don't like, when I first became a philosopher, or noticed that I was a philosopher, I was like, oh, this is why I'm not religious. I want to get rid of religion. I want to, like, end it. I want to end religion. And then I realized later on, like, no, wait, hold on.
Nah.
What are we doing? And I realized, no, I don't want to end religion. Religion is good. It's just
Positive.
it's the extremists that kind of like go out of hand. You just got to ignore
Yeah.
those extremists. Let the people who are into Islamic. I don't know the proper term
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
The extremists are usually like the jihads and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Anybody that's in any religion that's extremist will do something that, there's always going to be those people that do things because they're super passionate, and then I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on in their brain as what they're doing, but
Sometimes, a lot of
yeah,
times, in inhuman acts. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
yeah,
you know what? I mean, it's strange, but but in their brain they feel that they're doing
Yeah.
what they're supposed to be doing. They
exactly,
don't even
yeah,
they don't even think they're doing anything wrong. They think we're the
yeah,
ones doing something wrong.
yeah. Don't get you're gonna get me tied up with what I've been trying to figure out with consciousness, man. Like, so in one of these so I was talking about the religion stuff. I forgot about Hermeticism. That's an ancient religion based on Egyptians. Uh, uh, the author I was talking about, I don't know if you can hear me, Keeney, was Graham Hancock. That's for both of you. Graham
Okay.
Hancock. He's on that Gaia channel. Uh, if it there's one show that I watch on that Gaia channel. It's called Psychedelica, and
I think I've seen that before
it's my
on
favorite
YouTube.
show. Yeah, huh? No, it's on
Yeah.
Gaia. I don't know. They probably have it on YouTube, but Psychedelica basically goes over a lot of shit that I found out myself. Okay, so when you see other people confirming your beliefs or whatever, the bias, whatever it is, you like, huh, interesting. So other people had this similar experience. So that's what adds to the science when you do your own shit, your own research, whatever. But yeah, Graham Hancock is obsessed with, like, he wrote a shit ton of books, Fingerprints of the Gods, and so much crazy shit with like ancient Egypt. What's
Yeah.
up?
He said. Yeah. He said he likes the title of that
Oh
book.
yeah, he wrote Supernatural, Magicians of the Gods, Underworld, The Sign and Seal. He wrote a shit ton of books, but he,
Supernatural.
yeah, the recent one I read on audio book, by the way, it's called The Immortality Key, and the secret history of the religion with no name. And it's written by this guy called Brian C. whatever his last name is, but Graham Hancock wrote the forward and all that. But it's a great book, The Immortality Key. If you want to read a book, I definitely or listen to a book, I definitely recommend Immortality Key, because that really changed my thinking with religion in general. because I used to be against Christianity. Uh, and then I realized because I was raised as a Christian. I was raised in
Yeah,
the
likewise.
Pentecostal, Baptist, the different Christians, whatever. And I hated it because it was like they were forcing me to do things that I was like, what? You don't want me to listen to Eminem because it's devil music?
Yeah, like
Wait, what? And I was just so confused. Like, so I have to listen only to brainwashing music where you're only talking about God is, whatever. Like,
yeah,
and again, this is not to come at the religion. This is just the brainwashing that I didn't like.
I
As soon
didn't
as
like
I,
it either. Yeah,
yeah, as soon as I read as soon as I felt like they were trying to brainwash me, it's like, this reminds me of when I grew up. Like all the
hmm,
brainwashing I dealt with since I was, 7 years old. And I was aware of what brainwashing was in school.
yep,
When I grew up, when I hated school because of it, and I never knew why I hated school, and it was because great, you learn your math, you learn your science and your English and all that, but they were also brainwashing the fuck out of me or us, I should say,
right.
to be specific, to be workers.
Workers.
Yeah, to
That's what
work
it
a nine
is.
to five and
Yep.
be lifeless, and this is your job and you need to go to college now and work for somebody else and do this
Yep.
because this is life. And it's
Yep.
like ever since then, dude, I always had this questioning. No, it's like it's like Guinea said earlier that he had that question. Like, there's got to be something more to this, dude.
Exactly.
And that was me. It was like,
Once that spark hits, it's like
yeah,
that's where it start. That's the start of it. You know what I
and
mean? And same thing with religion with me. It was like that. Once I started questioning things, it was bad. It was the wrong way. You're not supposed to question shit. That's just gonna make a kid question that shit more. You
right.
know what I mean? So
Let me blow your mind a little bit if you haven't already heard about this. But so this right here, this is our planet, right?
all right.
Okay. This right here is something else, right? So this is
I
what I've
got
been
you.
playing around with. As above, so below.
Right.
As above, so below. As above, so below. There's a quote: "As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul." It's
Okay.
a thing that I meditated on, and I repeated it multiple times. I've been trying to understand it, blah blah. But it's like it's a way to when you learn. Right, I don't know if you can see this right here.
Yeah.
That is what I would consider nothing, right? The
Okay.
nothingness, the universe, and it's nothing. It's right. This is the ball, the universe that we live in, right?
Right.
And then right here is what's beyond the universe. What else is there? You know what I mean? There's gold. There's whatever. There's life elsewhere. In the center, you see there's the I don't know if you can see that what's in there, but
Oh shit. Yeah.
there's like a tree and shit. It's a tree of life. But not to say I understand this thing completely, but when I got this, I was like, I don't know why I got this shit, but it's like my wife wanted to get it. My wife got it for me, and I wanted it, and
I
I'm
would get
just
it
trying.
because it looks cool.
So I thought it was because it looked cool, but why I really got it is to do what I'm doing now. So hold on, baby. Okay, give me a second. Okay, give me a second. I got you. Trying to teach this girl patience because she's really dominant, man. Like
Yeah.
she's got a lot of Arya strength, and I'm trying to teach her to breathe,
Love it.
meditate because her temper is crazy. Yeah, she has a lot of weeds in her garden. I'm like, gotta cut that. Like
Yeah.
let's learn, but
Yeah.
I'm not trying to force her. You know what I mean?
No,
But
I got you.
so this right here, what my point to this is that this isn't the only thing that exists, man. This
Right.
dimension, this universe we live in. This is not the only
This
thing.
dimension. Right.
Yeah. This is the we think it is because we perceive it.
Right.
And just like Guinea said, it ain't until we see other dimensions or some other shit that we're like, oh.
Oh
So
shit.
so that shroom trip that I had told me that. And basically, it gave me a hint. I didn't, and me meditating so much during COVID set me to a different dimension without me even realizing it. I didn't realize where I was. That astral projection shit that people
Right.
talk about.
Yeah.
I still don't know what astral projection is. I'm gonna keep it that way because I don't want to. I don't. There's some things you don't want to mess up. The way you're doing it, and that's on you. Like way you want to do it, you do it. But me, I don't want to understand what I'm doing all the time. She grabs a fucking orange.
He just threw that joint like,
Yeah, said, here, open this joint.
open this joint. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely feel that.
I was just trying to plant a seed in your brain. You can take that out if you want. My fault.
No, I
No, go
got
ahead.
you. Yeah,
That's all
that
I
astral
do.
projection shit though, man. I don't want to dabble too deep into it, but as far
You
as
done it before?
I've tried it,
Huh.
a couple times, and I never got anywhere specific. But I do have one experience that a buddy of mine, he was actually successfully, like he was able to successfully do it, and the reason why I believe he did was because it was three of us, high school fucking kids, and but we were really into it. Me and my one buddy, he's like one of my best friends till today, and me and him were into it. We couldn't do it, and I'm like, man, we tried everything. We were hitting the notes, like there was certain notes that you played or whatever that puts you in a trance or whatever. Cool, and I'm like, man, there got to be something. So another buddy of ours comes over. Long story short, he's like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about?" So we talked to him about it. We explained it to him, but it wasn't in the sense of, "Oh, let's do it because it looks cool or sounds cool." Like we were really, truthfully interested. We did a lot of research on it for some fucking high school kids, and so my buddy, he was like, "Well, I'll try it." So we set up to where he was laying down. He was laying on the floor. He had like we put two speakers next to both of his ears, playing these frequencies really high. So we even tested it. He laid there. We tested it. I was like, yo, yo, yo. I kept talking to him. He couldn't hear me. So I was like, okay, cool. He can't hear nothing. So one of my other buddy, he was on the other side of the room on his iPad, just on a random, I think it was on a website or app or something like that. I was like, just keep scrolling, just keep doing your thing. I was in front of the TV and I was, playing a game or something. So once I started hearing our buddy snore, he fell asleep on the floor. He started snoring. Once I heard him snore, I popped out the game, switched the game I was playing. My buddy went on a different app, used a whole different app. About 5 minutes later, we're just sitting there, the dude, our buddy sleeping, and I'm like, man, this shit ain't gonna work. I'm about to wake him up. He gets up and he's yelling. He's like, yo, and I'm like, so we turn the music down on the speakers and shit. And I'm like, yo, you all right? And he was like, yo, y'all don't hear me? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? I was telling y'all to turn the music down like 5 times and y'all weren't even looking at me. You know what I'm saying? And I
Hmm.
was like, get the fuck out of here. So I'm like, bro, don't lie to me. Like, don't do no, you know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, I was like, what game was I playing? And I changed the game and everything. There's no way he would know. He named the game I was playing. He even said the website my boy was on. My boy wasn't even on the app. He was online on the website. And he
Hmm.
said what he was looking at and everything because he went over there trying to talk to him like, yo, turn this music down. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that was the only time. He was kind of freaked out about it a little bit, so he never wanted to try it again.
Yeah, yeah,
I tried a couple times and never got nowhere, or whatever. But it
yeah.
was just crazy, man, and that was
Eh,
that was a crazy ass experience. Nobody believes me, of course, but
That man, look,
I believe me.
uh, like exactly. Like I said, uh, I don't know. Like I wasn't there,
Yeah,
but so it's basically like what you're like right now. This is philosophy stuff, but right now you can tell me that your house is a mansion, right? And I would look at like that doesn't look like a mansion though. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's a mansion. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can't prove it, so I can't really say you're wrong. I
right.
can't say you're right or wrong. I have to just go with it. You know what I mean? But it's the
Yeah,
same thing with that story. Is like that's your story, dude, and you're
yep,
telling it to me, and I can't say you're it's a true story or it's false.
yeah,
They're a liar. It's just the my skeptical brain will say whatever it says or feels where I'm like I don't know, maybe the guy was dreaming, I don't know, maybe he heard the game and maybe so it's like your
yeah.
logic starts to kick in, right?
Right. That's exactly how I was.
Yeah, but it's like overall I don't really dive too much into what you're telling me whether it's false or true because what matters to me is that you're telling me the story and that was your experience, right?
Right.
You didn't say it was you didn't like you could have just lied and say that
Yeah, I
was your
could.
experience. You could have
Yeah,
just you could have
put
flipped the
some
story
bullshit.
around, but
Yeah,
maybe someone would have heard you and then later on they'll catch you, Derry, and then oh, you fucking liar, why are you telling my story? And like, you know what I mean, put you on a spot and make you feel like shit. But
yeah,
overall, it's like that. I was just saying that because like in general, people tell me things, and like I talked to a different guy on the podcast before when we talked about astral projection. I said I don't know what the fuck happened, but I think I astral projected. I just the only problem is I was blind. Like I was blindfolded. Like I can hear shit, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. So it was just
Yeah.
bizarre. The one time I got super fucking high, and it was some kind of strain that I don't know what the fuck. It basically gave me
Yeah.
paranoia, extreme paranoia, where it really gave me negative thoughts of like the most negative thoughts you can think of. It was fucking with me, and I was having a huge panic because I never dealt with it before. So I just did what I usually do with my practice of meditation. These are thoughts. These are thoughts. These are thoughts. These are just thoughts. Meanwhile, they're like fucking with me, really fucking with me, like trying to get me to do some damage, and that really humbled me with yo, because it was something I got that I got it from somebody, and I was like never again, because I got to be
Yeah.
careful what I do here, because things can go bad, if you're not respecting what you're doing, especially when you're experimenting with shit. But basically, it set me into a sand somewhere in some sand, somewhere sandy. So what came to mind was I was in the I was inside of a pyramid, or whatever I was. I was in Egypt or somewhere sandy, a desert,
Oh shit.
and I saw people walking by me, and I was sitting there, and I didn't move because I was scared, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" And people were just walking by me, and I was like, "Am I fucking meditating somewhere in the fucking desert?" And I started panic, like, and when I opened my eyes, because I really could see, I saw sand, I saw like there was like a gust of like sand going by me. It was all this weird shit, and I was inside of a place. It was like in a cave or something, and people were walking by. It was
Oh shit.
shadows, so I couldn't really. It wasn't people like forms of people. It was shadowy forms of people. So again, I don't know what kind of shit I was on, but that shit put me there, like, and I would say that was astral projection, but I felt like that was a different dimension. I don't know what the
Right.
fuck that was. Maybe that was just my
Yeah.
mind. You know what I mean? Here's the skepticism part of me.
Right.
Maybe that was me creating a different reality or something, and that's where I learned something from mushrooms. But overall, the astral projecting, I don't know. I still to this day, I never did, I never did any techniques. So that's probably why I haven't astral projected like the way that guy did, where he saw you playing the
Yeah.
game and all that. But I have astral projected before where I'm meditating and I get so good at it where I'm sitting there for 30 minutes and I'm not in my body anymore. My
That's
eyes,
probably the best way to try to do it, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. I'm not in my body anymore. Perceptive, like my body's right here, but perception wise, how I hear, I'm over here. My daughter was in front of me. She was like talking to me like she does. She usually does. She usually smacks my face, daddy, daddy, like while I'm meditating. But I was right here though, and I can feel her touching me, but I can hear her over, like as if I was facing this way and I'm meditating, and I can hear daddy, daddy, daddy. I'm like, oh, this is cool as shit. I'm like, what am I doing? Like I felt like I was out of my body, like kind of
Yeah.
kind of like getting outside of it in a way.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, so because and again, I can't prove this to you. This is all
Nah, I
based
got you.
on you
I
doing
got a
shit
buddy dude
yourself.
that he tries to get me on meditating like all the time
Yeah,
for the same fact. And not just to, oh, it feels cool. It's just like after he feels those things or when he experiences those things, it brings him so much peace.
yep,
And it brings him so much like, that the daily calamity in your brain of just thoughts that every human goes through just kind of unwinds and just flushes.
right.
And I was like, wow, that sounds awesome. You
Remember
know what I
that?
mean?
Yeah, remember that thing I showed you earlier? This
Yep.
thing right here. This is our body. This is our mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is our world, our planet, and this is the different dimensions. This is our body, and this is our mind. I don't know if you get where I'm going,
Yeah.
but it's we
As above, so below.
yes, when you allow yourself to explore, dog, like you can get into this area of unknownness, and it's not for everybody because being there isn't pleasing if you don't know what the fuck you're doing or you don't know what to expect. this is dark matter we're talking about, matter or whatever it is that brings you into nothingness. This is another reason why I call it the William Knows Nothing Show, is because I know what nothing is now. I know what nothing is. Like, that's a big secret for real. No one's. I like. I'm talking all this stuff because it's like, what do you call it? I feel like not a lot of people are watching me. I feel like not a lot of people are watching the show, so I could talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. But I'm like trying to be careful too, because I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being careful. Yeah, just in case. Like, I just don't.
Because you
don't
never
want.
know too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to speak too much with like. There's a lot of stuff that I've explored, man, and it's like private stuff that I found out, and I just. Hey, just with great power comes great responsibility. That's all I can do. You know.
Well, real quick, Will, and I hate to say this, but I have a studio session that I'm about to get.
Yo, oh shit! One thing before you go.
Yeah.
I
hate to cut it, dude.
No. Yeah, I had to cut it off too. Yeah, we should do it again. Yeah, again. This thing. That's why I love podcasts. You know, you come anytime, man.
Oh yeah.
And it was fun doing this with you.
Oh yeah, man. I need more time. I didn't know. The time flew. I was like, damn.
That's what happens.
You know what I mean?
That's what happens. I told you, man. Like I said, like I don't know if you saw the video. That's probably why you thought you hit me up. But I said, join me on the show.
Yeah.
And let's have fun. Let's create something. We just created however long this is, an hour, 2 hour, an hour and a half, whatever, of some good shit that whoever wants to listen to it, your friends or whoever listens to it is gonna be like, yo, I didn't think of it that way, or whatever, or like, oh yeah, I knew that, but it just helps people understand that there's different perspectives out there, and that we're not alone. Okay.
Exactly. I love it.
So what I wanted to tell you earlier, and I didn't get a chance to do, is because the conversation does what it does. It's cool. That's what a podcast is, man. I have my format of questions, but that's just in case you're not very talkative, or if you're nervous or something, I can help you. But overall, I wanted to tell you, you said, you asked me, what can unite us? And then I asked you, what can unite us? And you said the only thing you come up with is, I forget what you said.
Just like an enemy of my
enemies.
You know what I mean?
Some shit like going down, basically, like a war or something that gives us
something like that. Just to have an opposition against us as a species, not just us as America.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's one thing, right? Here's the thing I was gonna say is you too, man. You, and what do you do? What do you love? And I have all these questions set up for you just so I can let you run with them and question yourself. I can send them to you anyway, or I can ask you next time. But
either way, dude.
Yeah, basically, you create. What do you create? Music.
Yeah.
Music, man. Everything in music speaks for itself. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a musician myself. I try to be. I like play around or whatever. I don't know if you saw my recent video. I was like freestyling a little bit, but it's like consciousness is music too. So a lot of music that I'm listening to, I didn't think about the song the way I'm thinking about it. But now that I'm listening to the lyrics and listening to the music all in general, all as one, like really paying attention to what they're saying, this is all spiritual shit they're talking about. Like Linkin Park, the whole album, the Hybrid Theory album, it's all spiritual as fuck. I used to think it was about females or relationships. No, it's about this and all of this shit. It's like more to it. I'm like, yo, my brain is just like on fire with like music now, that I'm way more appreciative. So I just want to put that on you, that whatever music you come up with, man, just that's you. Like, that's your way to unite us. You know what I mean? Just you want to find a way to unite us. You create music, and that you're going to unite people to that. You know what I mean? By making some good shit.
And that's true, because people do unite from that.
Exactly. They go to concerts and they play music at parties and you name it. Just create good shit, man.
Yeah, I got you, dude, and I'm gonna send you some shit too.
All right, cool. Yeah, just send me all that. I'll post your shit and try to advertise you. Anything? Oh, I usually advertise people. What is your Instagram for music, if you have it, or anywhere that the people can see your music or whatever's out there that you want to promote?
Oh yeah, my Instagram, TSB_215. Like I said, right now I haven't dropped no music. I haven't put anything up yet.
Okay,
You know,
but you're
just
working on it.
yeah, right now it's not. Right now I'm actually working on the music itself.
Okay, cool.
That way, when I have my actual music set up, not just a song, more like an album, something like that, mixtape, whatever, then I'll build my platforms and everything around that.
Cool. Right, this
So
is your early
it's
stages,
all in the
and
works, man.
yeah,
But it's a
yeah,
lot of practice, a lot of years of under the table work and shit that people don't even notice. And then when I come out and I was like, wow, he sounds like already professional, rather
because you,
than just dropping songs and slowly progressing.
yeah,
I'd rather
yeah,
take that time to myself,
that's good.
build myself, and
Yeah.
then when I'm ready.
Yeah, that's good. See, that was your way of doing it, and my way is I put myself out there, even if I didn't like. When I first did this podcast, I didn't know shit,
Yeah.
and I
I
was
love it
fucking
though,
up.
man. I
The
be seeing you
yeah, my
all the time.
philosophy stuff. I just put all this shit out there. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, this is embarrassing, but who cares?
Yeah.
This is why I
All
know
right, man.
nothing. All right, man. Cool. Appreciate you, and I'll see
No,
you
I
next time.
appreciate you, brother. We're gonna do this again for sure.
All right, cool, man. I give you my love and my blessings to all your, your family over there and yourself. And
Me
yeah,
too,
and
brother.
enjoy
You
yourself,
too,
man.
brother.
All right, peace.